We are in the beautiful Pog Lake Campground at Algonquin Park. This is our favorite place to camp. We're not doing a video on it this time because we did one last year. I'll link that at the end of the video. This place is fantastic. But while here, we thought we would do a little video to show you our trailer and the setup modifications that we did to the trailer.
So let's get right to it. Okay, welcome, and this is the tip out. Our daughter just left, so I just kept it down so we could show you a standardized queen, I believe, just regular queen size sheet. What we've done to modify this is up here is where you can hang hangers, but that wasn't getting much use, so we decided to purchase this little cubby shelf that they can hang some clothes on or towel or something off of here. Just outside the tip out is we have this usable space right here, and this is a little closet area with storage underneath. And what we have in here, a good thing I'm not tall, I can clear this. We just keep all sorts of towels, packs for the kayaks, mitts and gloves, bags, my bike pack or scrub a bag, and then just other odds and ends at the bottom. Tons of storage.
So one of the things I like to do when we're finished at a park is I like to empty the hot water tank. So to do that, I need to turn the bypass on. The hot water tank is kept under here, and in order to access it, I would have to undo these two screws, or I can undo a couple screws at the top to access it. Well, I hated constantly undoing these screws, so what I did is I added this little handle here, and I can take this off right now. I have magnetic stick-on right there, and magnets on this side too, so it holds it in place. Then I can easily access the hot water tank. I cut off the screws here. I didn't want to leave the ugly holes, so I cut off the back of the screws and glued the screws in place so they look original. This just goes right on like this and stays in place.
Okay, welcome to the kitchen area. I'll just show you a bit of my storage solutions. Up above, I have racks, the shelving units, and I put the non-slip grip on top and bottom. I keep all my cups, wine glasses, tumblers in these bins so they don't fall out when we travel. On this side, I've got all the collapsible storage containers in here and bowls. Down here is the mugs, more bowls and plates, and everything generally stays put. The collapsible bowls pop down. Okay, here's the flat stacks containers. They're great. They come in I've got all different sizes. You put the food in, close them up, and you smush them down. The air comes out the valve, and they fit perfectly in the fridge, layered on top of each other. Another modification we've done is we've put this bar outlet here. We always have more than two things. And then we just plug in our kettle, our toaster oven, etc. Gives us a little bit more room to plug in things.
These outlets here are notoriously cheap, and we don't like plugging things in and out of that all the time, like with a kettle and things like that. So we just keep this bar plugged in. We don't have to mess with this anymore, and everything goes in and out of here. Works really well. I just put two screws in the wood right here, and attached this power bar.
We do have our cutlery drawer that's geniusly been made with this trailer. It just works around the sink. Plenty of room for all the cutlery. In this drawer, I just keep all my other utensils for the kitchen. This drawer, just my messy spice drawer and little bowls, hot pads. Down here, extra towels and cloths. Down here, I just keep a tray, a bowl, and plastic bags and a strainer. There's not a lot of room, so those things fit perfectly in like so. The oven we use maybe once. I just use it as a storage area for bread and buns and baked items. It fits perfectly. And this is something that my husband and his buddy made, a cutting board, and it fits perfectly over top of the stove because the stove did not come with a cover. Oops. As you can see, they've got the legs, and it doesn't move when we're driving. Okay, down below, I keep my pots and pans, and I got this little caddy just to keep sponges and the dish soap, NutriBullet kettle, coffee maker, and I got this little, I don't know if you can see, come over here a bit, this magazine rack holder, and it holds the foil and saran. And all cleaning supplies. Everything fits in just like a Jenga, as it does when you're camping. Where to put the broom and dustpan? We just have a command hook here. I tried doing the hook thing, the command hook with this, but it kept jumping off when we drove. So then I bought this thing, and it's holding quite secure. It doesn't ever fall out. So that's where we store that. How I do my dishes. Collapsible bin again, because I love collapsible everything. And it just goes underneath there when I'm finished. And when I want it out. That way I don't dump the dishwater down the gray tank and fill up really quickly. I just can empty it into the vault toilet or dump it down the toilet. And you're probably wondering, how the heck do I reach the items in the top shelf of the cupboard? This little collapsible stool. Oh, there's my glasses. Yes, that's how I do that. Up above the fridge freezer, we also have storage. I usually keep a bin with s'mores stuff in here, easy access. And this is just my microwavable dishes up here. Okay, here it is. I'm going to show you. I have not cleaned out this cupboard at all. This is our pantry. It holds a lot of stuff. I'm going to show you that it holds a lot of stuff. And it goes in. Oh my gosh. It's like, whoops, it's that deep in. So it goes back far and it holds a lot of stuff.
A couple of the modifications that we've done here. I did a video on this, and I'll post the link probably right up here. Behind the TV, I installed a USB outlet and DC plug. Those are both wired to the battery, so even if we're not hooked up to shore power, I can still charge things. Presently, my phone charger is plugged into it right now. So I installed that, and I did a full install video on that.
Okay, and we have another storage area behind this TV unit and the pantry. Just as, I don't know, the pantry goes back as deep as this cupboard. This storage goes the length of the TV. So you can fit the bigger items in here. We keep a little TV table in here, extra paper products, and we keep this extra stool so when we're sitting at the table, then we have an extra chair to sit on, and there is again another stool. It goes, I can't even put my arm back, it goes so deep, but it is the length of the TV, so it's great for storing bigger items as well. Okay, and from our friends the Saladas, we got this idea. It was fit perfectly. Is we got this little shoe rack, and it just fits the width perfectly, and we just keep all our shoes piled neatly on here.
One thing that was very difficult for us was lifting up the bed to get underneath it. We put our laundry there, so when we ever want to put my laundry in, we'd have to lift it up, and we have to kind of hold it open with a shoulder and put it in. When you have to take anything out of there, it's a real hassle because you have to grab something with two hands. You have no hands to hold. You need two people to do it. So I installed a bed lift kit. Now it's as simple. One hand like that just opens up, and we have easy access. The bed lift kit consists of a shock on each side. We have a nice queen mattress on it now, which is a residential queen mattress, which has enough weight to hold this down when we're driving. But before that, we had the original RV mattress that came with it, very light, very flimsy. It wasn't enough weight to hold this down. So what I did is I installed latches right here and right down here. So when I closed it, I could just clip it together right there. And that held it down. But as you can see, it's very easy to put down, and it just stays down.
And another thing I did, ready for under the bed. Here's our laundry storage under here. Just keep the self-inflating mattresses and pillows, etc., extra blankets. And what I rigged up for my magazines, as I'm a magazine person, is this container, and I had over the door hooks, and I just hooked them over the bed frame, and I can keep the magazines secured without flying off the table, etc.
Down here, there is already an outlet there, but the outlets from the original trailer are usually quite cheap, and that one actually broke and was very loose in there. So I replaced that, and I replaced it with 2 outlets, which actually also have 2 USBs on them. So presently I've got a couple USB plugs plugged in there, and I did that on both sides of the bed. I also have that in a video, and I'll link that maybe right here.
Okay, the next thing I was going to show you is some storage solutions for our clothing. We just hung some command hooks. Now we can hang our hats out of the way. Up above, it's a little messy right now, but here's our storage solution. I got a lot of clothes here, but a lot I put in packing cubes. That way, if I need my socks, I grab out my packing cube for my socks, and there they are. Easy breezy, and they don't fall all over the place. They're contained. I just keep them up top. So those are a great thing to have. And as well, I got a couple of these storage ottomans because they're multi-functional handy. We use them as extra seating when we have a lot of people. Storage for the sheets and blankets, etc. And footrest. So this is our flip-out sofa bed. It opens up into a double or queen, I'm not sure. And it has storage underneath as well. So we will open it up and show you how big it is. Okay, so this is what it looks like when it is opened up. It can sleep up to 2 adults. You could always put another foam mattress or something on top if you prefer, but it's not too bad. And we will show you the storage. So these are the back cushions. Yeah. Okay, and all I keep under here is the bedding for the sofa bed, sleeping bags, pillows, sheets. That goes under there. What I liked about this travel trailer is that the TV is directly, just because the TV is important when you're camping, right? It is directly across from the sofa. You don't have to crank your head this way or this way and readjust everything. And as well, this sofa also has 2 cup holders, which I like as well. I'm going to show you, there's more storage up above. So up above we keep our games, messy cupboards, yes. And a few DVDs and throwaway dishes. Again, we have more storage under both dinette seating areas. You can access from the top, but it's much easier, especially if somebody's sitting on it, to access through the doors. I bought big Rubbermaid containers. They go the whole length of the dinette, and they fit everything we need. You have my toaster oven, and as well we even put a small heater in the back of that as well. All right, so as well on the bathroom door, we use as much storage as we can. So we have an over the door hook to hang our shirts and jackets. On the inside, we have this shoe organizer. We can load her up, all the first aid stuff, bathroom supplies, etc. Quick and easy access for everything. We have some command hooks we just put up here to hang our towels. Underneath, this shelf used to be a back wall, and it was very not usable space at all, so Ben just took the wall out, made it into another shelf, so then we have layered storage, and that works pretty easy. And another command hook for hanging some things.
We're at Pog Lake in Algonquin Park. I can't tell you the site number because it's a secret, but I'm going to give you a quick tour of the site. Probably the greatest site we've ever had. This whole thing is our site, right down to the water. Awesome. So this is a modification I did that I hope I never have to do again. What happened is I backed into a campsite and a tree branch scraped the side of the trailer and put a big 7-inch gouge in the trailer. And it's right under here. You can't even see it. So what I did is I used, say, some boat hull epoxy, and I filled in the space there and then sanded it right down. The epoxy was black, so it certainly didn't match. So the problem was, what do we do to cover it up? I could pay to have this whole area repainted, but that's quite expensive. So I did something nice and simple. I found this sticker online. It just had to cover the 7-inch gouge, stuck it up there, and now it just looks like a cute little sticker on our travel trailer. And nobody's any wiser, and you don't have to tell anybody about this.
And one little quick tip we got from another YouTuber, which is a great idea, is we got these suction cup hooks that you can just untwist, and then it just comes off before when we're traveling, and then when we set up camp, back up we go, and we just screw it on and it sticks pretty good. And what this is good for, when it's raining, we can just hang raincoats or wet towels, whatever, underneath the awning, and then they stay dry and they don't bring in a lot of water in the trailer.
On the road to this trip, we had an unfortunate accident. We had a blowout with the tire. We were very fortunate, though, that somebody drove past us and the lady was waving frantically outside the passenger window, yelling to us that about the flat tire. So we pulled over immediately and dealt with it. Now, this is the second time we've had a flat tire in driving travel trailers in 10 years. And in each time, it was the kindness of a stranger that alerted us to the tire being flat, because I didn't notice anything different in the drive, the feel, nothing. And I couldn't see it out of my mirrors, so we were relying on the kindness of strangers to tell us. Because it's a dual axle trailer, you don't notice when you get a flat tire. If it's a single axle, you'd notice right away. But a dual axle, you don't really notice it. So one thing I definitely want to get is a tire pressure monitoring system. I don't have one yet. I'm starting to do some research on them. Anyone out there, if you have your ideas on what a great TPMS is for me to get, please let me know. I certainly don't want the highest end and paying $1,000 for it. I'd like something maybe in the $200, $300, $400 range, but I think it's a very good investment to get a tire pressure monitoring system. We were just fortunate both times that we were on busy highways and there were people around us to alert us to the blowout. If we were on some side road or just a road without anybody behind us, we might have kept on driving. We could have caused a great deal of damage to the trailer. It could have even caught on fire. So we were very fortunate both times. I don't want to take that risk anymore. I want a TPMS, so please send me your suggestions. We added this 2-bike rack to the front of the trailer. In the past, we would have a bike rack on the back of the trailer, and we found that it bounced so much it damaged the bikes, and even we went through a couple of bike racks where it would bend the steel or break a weld. So we found this system. It attaches right onto the front. What you have to do is you have to remove your power jack and then put this underneath and bolt the power jack onto it so it holds it securely in place. It's very easy to put the bicycles up. It's a little easier when you have when you have the trailer lowered at the front, because you actually have to lift the bicycles up and put them into place. So right now, if I was to do it, it'd be a little difficult. But I just know when I'm going to put the bikes on, I just lower this thing down nice and low, and then throw each bike on. They're always in my view in the rear view mirror, and they hardly bounce at all. No damage to the bikes. This was a really good purchase that we made. Another thing that we recently purchased, it's for the air conditioning unit, and is a product called Easy Start RV. And it gets hardwired right into the air conditioning unit. And what it does is it allows you to start the air conditioner when you're not plugged into shore power by using even a small generator. We have a 2,000 watt generator, and I can get the air conditioner working off of that. Now that's about the smallest you could ever go, because with that I have to have the refrigerator off and nothing else running whatsoever, but it will run the air conditioner. If you have a slightly larger one, maybe a 3,000 watt generator, it'll do it no problem. Generally, there's a large surge that's required to start an air conditioner, and the Easy Start RV lowers that so you don't have that big surge, and it just has a continual power draw. So it is a great thing. Also, when you plug in at home to shore power, not to 30 amp power, you can still run your air conditioner because of this unit. Okay, this is the Coachmen Freedom Express 254 DSX. Everything that we've shown you today is not sponsored. We're not sponsored by anybody for this. We're just showing you our trailer, why we love our trailer, the storage solutions in our trailer, and the modifications that we've made to it. It's just our little slice of heaven that we're showing to you.
Don't forget, if you have any tips or tricks for us, please put them in the comments below.
We'd love to hear from you.